Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers, it's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers, it's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers, it's time for the Lakers. What is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Sunday afternoon. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and positive blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we know that the Los Angeles Lakers was wrapping up the last final game of their road trip on this afternoon. And before I get into that, I first want to say I apologize for not making any videos the past couple days, any shows, because, you know, I've been in Atlanta. I went down there for some leisure time, really enjoyed myself as always. Just a little short getaway to go down there and have some fun and indulge in some few things that I do find delightful. But at the end of the day, man, like what the hell was going on? I'm so glad I didn't buy tickets to go to the game with LeBron still being hurt. Then they tried to charge standing room only, like way too much, and for a game that LeBron James is not even in. I said I had to pass on that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot we can talk about. And first, before I even talk about that travesty of a game that we just witnessed, and I apologize, I'm going over a rough road right now, so let me speak up a little bit. But what I'm saying is, the other night, let's talk about that game first, since I didn't get to break that down. I just want to mention that for a minute. Friday night game in Charlotte. Of course, Anthony Davis does not play on the second night of a back-to-back, which I understand he's coming off injury, so he won't arrest it. But you're already without LeBron James. Man the hell up and play. You know you need every victory and every victory count. If you know you need every victory and every victory count, then why you didn't man up and play? And then Russell Westbrook to go out and had a great performance, even though he didn't have a great performance in the first half. The point of the matter is that game was lost yet again by damn Frank Vogel. Now, Frank Vogel decided to trot out Wayne Ellington and DeAndre Jordan to put them in the starting lineup with Westbrook and Avery Bradley, that is. Now, Stanley Johnson, of course, I wanted him in the starting lineup, and that was a good move. But you don't put him on the court at the same time with DeAndre Jordan, who was a big-time minus for the game. The whole starting lineup was a minus for the game, including Westbrook, but that was because he was on the floor so much of the first half with these trash-ass players. And then even Hubie Brown, the great Hubie Brown, who was a fantastic basketball mind, who was once the coach of the Beale Street Blue and the Memphis Grizzlies, under the great tutelage of the great Jerry West. Well, I won't say under the tutelage because Hubie Brown been around a long time, but they ones who first put the Grizzlies on the map as far as becoming a successful franchise after their departure from Vancouver down to Memphis. But that's a story for another day. I'm not trying to get off subject. My main point is, what in the hell was Frank Vogel doing when Frank Vogel decided to start DeAndre Jordan and Wayne Ellington, somebody who has not been getting any playing time at all? I understand you trying to get a spark. Let them come off the bench. Why wouldn't you go ahead and start Dwight Howard, who's been getting starting time? I mean, it just made absolutely no sense. Like, to me, are you trying to lose your job? And then, like I was saying, back to my point about Hubie Brown, sorry I got off subject, is even Hubie in the broadcast said, well, you can clearly see that the bench is like plus 10 or plus 15 compared to the starters, and what decision is he going to make, and blah, blah, blah. So if you can clearly see that, why in the world are you continuing to start and play people like Trevor Ariza, who I said should get no playing time? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, Frank Vogel? Why are you starting DeAndre Jordan and Wayne Ellington? It makes absolutely no sense. So I'm not going to talk too much about that game. Like I said, I was traveling. I was able to watch it on the laptop while I was driving. It's all kind of a blur to me, but I'm just pissed off because of that. That was pathetic. Mainly because, like I said, Frank Vogel started off with that BS lineup of DeAndre Jordan. And then on top of that, Anthony Davis didn't play. And how Anthony Davis not going to play, I know it's the second night of a back-to-back and you coming off injury. That's the purpose of minutes restrictions. You could have went in and gave it at least 20, 25 minutes, man, knowing that the Lakers need these games to stay out the play-in game or even get into the top 6. Hell, you lucky to be in the top 9 at this point. Then Anthony Davis come back. Now, one thing I will say, Anthony Davis in both of the games that he's been back, he's played hella good. Performance he had today was pretty solid. Performance against Philadelphia was pretty solid. And I will say this, on my way back from the ATL, I was trying to watch the game, but couldn't watch the game because they talking about, oh, it's a blackout in your area. So even on the league pass, I couldn't get it. Other things I was trying to stream it on, I just wasn't able to get it. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, I'm about to miss my exit, y'all. But anyway, I wasn't able to get it, so I just had to listen to the radio. So as I listened to the radio, I just couldn't understand. All I could keep hearing is dunk after dunk after dunk after dunk. And the analyst for the Lakers, I beg your pardon, but he's not that well in doing his job as far as a radio broadcaster. You know, as a play-by-play caller, it's not hard to call the play-by-play. But when you have an analyst, your job is to break down what's going on and explain to us as fans why in the hell Atlanta continued to get dunk after dunk after dunk after dunk. And I don't think he did a good job, but from what I could, just from listening, what I could get from it was the weak side wasn't helping at all in the rotations. And I guess they were closing out to potential three-point shooters like Bogdanovich, I guess, and just leaving the wide open dunks down low for Capella and damn it, you know what I'm talking about. But allowed them to continue to get dunk after dunk after oop after oop. And I understand giving up 2 is better than giving up a 3, but there's a difference between a low percentage shot and a high percentage shot. You know, you can close out to those 3-pointers. You have to rotate and protect. You have to protect the paint. You cannot give up that many damn dunks in the game and expect to win the game. And the thing about it is, another thing I noticed while listening to the game, the first quarter, Lakers was losing like 34-33, 1 point. The next quarter, they won by 10. Going into halftime, they up by 9. The third quarter, they come out and win the third quarter by a point. So as long as you play the same way you've been playing the first 3 quarters, it wouldn't be a problem. Now, the first 3 quarters, you, like I said, won every quarter except for one by 1 point. And then in the fourth quarter, you come out and give up 38 points in the fourth, 38-20. And I knew the Lakers were so hot, they were shooting like 60-some% for the game, you know, to start the game. And I knew they would come down to earth eventually, and they would have to step up on the defensive side, which they did not. But what they did do was sit up here and Frank Vogel playing Carmelo Anthony too long before you put in Stanley Johnson when you need defense and not offense. And Carmelo Anthony, 1 out of 5 from 3. Now you 1 out of 5 from 3. Why in the hell are you keep shooting it? And then not only that, another thing, the Lakers were putrid again, once again from the free throw line, shooting 50% from 3. How you shooting 50% from 3? I mean, from the free throw line. They missed at least 10 or 11 free throws. Now, had you made your free throws, you would have won the game. But no, you can't even make the free throws. Anthony Davis started off good. He was making all the free throws. Then when you got late into more crunch time, you missed like what, 4 in a row, 3 in a row. I know he missed 2 on 1 possession, came back down and maybe got 1 out of 2. I'm not sure, but you know, Westbrook the same. I mean, just giving up easy baskets right there. And with LeBron James' knee, I mean, I know they got Portland Wednesday night. I keep saying it should be an easy victory. The way they played against Atlanta is good. Atlanta's a good team out the East. We all know what they did, you know, as they playoff push last year. They getting healthy. Gallinari's a hell of a player. Trae Young's a hell of a player. Clint Capella, he know what his role is. I mean, they got a lot of knockdown people that can shoot 3-pointers. But at the end of the day, the Lakers was dominating that game the whole time. And another thing that I don't understand, like I said, I didn't get to watch it, but just listening to it, the Lakers were down by 1 with like a minute left in the game. Maybe a minute and 20-something seconds. They was only down by 1. And instead, I know Malik Monk had 33 points, hit like 6 out of 7 from threes. But if you're down by 1, I would rather see the ball go down into the inside. You paying Anthony Davis $42 million a year. You paying Malik Monk a couple million a year, if that. So you got to go to your big time scorers who you pay the big bucks to, especially, you know, if you down by 1 and you can't depend on your star player to go down and at least get the contact and go to the line and knock them down, or at least be able to convert an easy bucket to take the lead. Because you take the lead and go up by 1, you put the pressure back on them. But of course, Malik Monk missed a 3. They go back down, score, hit a 3. Now they up by 4. Now the pressure's on, and we all know the game got away from them at the end. They end up losing by 8 in a very winnable game in which they should have won. I think, you know, that 38, you give up 38 points in the fourth quarter, 38-20, then that solely fall on your defense. And to me, that solely fall on Frank Vogel by not having the right lineup in at the end of the game. You played Carmelo way too long in the fourth quarter. He wasn't giving you anything offensively. I know he had 11 points, but you missed, 4 or 5 threes. So at the end of the day, I just didn't appreciate you know, Frank Vogel keeping Carmelo in for that long. It just really was unnecessary. I mean, you could have had in Stanley Johnson, who is more of a defensive player and actually hit a couple of corner threes. And Westbrook actually been hitting his threes lately. So, you know, I'm still not panicked. I'm still not concerned. I think they dropped the Lakers 3 game under 500, and that does concern me because, I mean, at this point, you got to start winning some games. There's only like 30 games left. So, and it doesn't get any easier. So, I mean, LeBron James probably suffered from tendonitis. He got swelling in that knee. LeBron, if you're listening to me, man, get some black seed oil and rub it in there and you'll be good to go. Man, I hate that I got to cut this show a little bit short because I got to turn in this young rental car. But at the end of the day, man, there's always much love. So right on to the real, man, and much love to these haters, man. I'm out. Peace.